Hello and welcome to Qsports. I am Umudu Gajaga. Thank you for joining us tonight. We're talking about Gambian football. The national team, the Scorpions, will get into two international friendlies in next month international window. That is for the World Cup window. They will be playing against DR Congo and also be playing against Liberia in Turkey. Also in Gambian football still, a football fan has taken Gambian football supporting to a whole new level. Habib Fall travelled all the way to Italy to watch Hassan Cisse's team Lecce play against Bologna. And he will tell us all about his journey, and he's been to other parts of Europe as well. We will have an exclusive discussion as to his passion about football in the Gambia. And physical exercise has taken the form of walking distances, 6 kilometers to and 6 kilometers back. But over the weekend, it was at the beach. Aerobics and some other parts of the physical exercise as well. We'll be talking about it. And Gambian international Modu Barrow has won FA Cup, that is with his team, Jan Book Hyundai, the FA Cup winners, and he's contributed to a lot of goals in that competition. All that on tonight's Qsports. Welcome and thank you for joining us. This is Qsports and I'm Mumutu Kajaga. First, we're looking at the Gambia national team, the Scorpions. They missed out in last month's international window for an international friendly, at least to sharpen the skills of the Scorpions, to get them in at least some form of football to prepare for the Africa Cup of Nations qualifiers Côte d'Ivoire 2023, which is going to resume in March when they will be playing against Mali in a double-leg tie. Well, the Gambia finally secured that place of playing international friendlies. But this time, it's in the World Cup international window in November, to be precise. They'll be playing in Turkey. More details about these international friendlies they'll be having in Turkey. The Gambia will again try to test the strength of their squad in two international friendlies, taking on DR Congo and Liberia in Turkey next month. After missing out on the chance to play any game in September during the international break, November's World Cup window offers a chance to sharpen the team. Scorpions coach Tom Sanfield has recently traveled to various countries to meet some potential new players, including a visit to Denmark. While there, he was pictured with Hamza Barry and Mohamedou Dramé, who both played in the Danish leagues. The training camp will be in Antalya, Turkey. The Gambia will play against DR Congo first on the 17th of November before facing Liberia 3 days later on the 20th. Coach Sanfield has told the GFF media that he will assemble 23 players for the camp with the announcement of the squad to be made soon. The Scorpions are hoping to make a second straight appearance in AFCON 2023 and will resume their quest for a place in Côte d'Ivoire with a double-header against Mali in March 2023. The November training camp is the only available FIFA window before the resumption of the qualifiers. Thus, its importance cannot be overemphasized. On Qsports tonight, a Gambian football fan has taken supporting the Gambia to another level. He traveled all the way in parts of Europe to go and watch Gambian players who play professional football in their clubs. First, he started off in Italy, where there was a match between two Gambian players, Hassan Cisse and Musa Barrow, Lecce and Bologna. Joining me on the line is Habib Musa Fall. He's a Gambian football fan. He has been showing his support to Gambian football home, and now he is taking it to a whole new level abroad to go and watch Gambian players. Habibu, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Mr. Gallagher. It's a pleasure to be here.
Tell us about going all the way in Italy and watch two Gambian players play against each other. That is Hassan Cisse and Musa Barrow. It's Bologna versus Lecce. First, tell us who were you supporting?
Assalamu alaikum. I would say once again, assalamu alaikum to everybody following us wherever you are around the world. Yes, it was a historic day for me and for Gambian football at large, because two of our best players were playing against each other. in a very respectable league, Serie A, one of the best leagues in the world. So having the chance to watch Hassan and Musa going each other was something very, 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 very interesting. And to be honest, I was really happy to be there, and I enjoyed every bit of it because I think at the end of the day, Gambian football was winning. Because 10 years ago, you might not believe that two Ghanaian players will be playing in respective clubs in Europe, most especially the Serie A. And then the most interesting part was both of them were among the best players in their team. Musa was leading the line for Bologna. Hassan also is the marksman of his newly Lecce, which was something I think Gambians should be thankful that we have such opportunity to have such talented players to play against each other. Anyway, I was in Bologna. Musa was the home team. He was hosting Hassan. He was hosting me as well because, you know, the moment I arrived in Bologna, he took over everything from me. I was like a small boy under him. He did everything humanly possible to make my stay easy and fantastic. Which I will use this opportunity to say a big thank you to Musa for giving me the chance to be there. And I was housed in a hotel. I was paid. I was given everything I needed. Apart from that, it was a memorable day because a lot of Ghanaians were there as well to watch the game. And as I understand, Musa is also buying a lot of tickets on a weekly basis to give it to his Ghanaian people to come and watch Bologna on a weekly basis.
That's fantastic.
It was difficult for me to support any of them. But at the end of the day, I was there for Gambia, you know. So, and my aim and objectives were, I wanted both to score, to be honest, because I want them to be in the news for the right reasons. So I was thinking that Musa will score and Hassan will score. But at the end of the day, it was a 2-0 victory for Musa, which he was the provider of the second goal.
He assisted.
From a corner kick. For Hassan, his team were a bit more defensive, so he didn't have chance to get more of the ball. So he was not having the ball much, so it was difficult for him to have a chance. In the second half, he was a bit lively because they were already 2-0 down. But at the end of the day, Gambia football wins because we have two Gambian marksmen playing at football at the highest level.
So it must be a great feeling like you described it there. But Habib, tell us about your passion for Gambian football. For you, is it about patriotism? You just love Gambian football? You just love Gambia? You know, from your heart, the bottom of your heart, that it has come to a whole new level that you would travel and watch Gambian players play in Europe?
Yeah, basically people who know me from my childhood understand that football is life. I've been into football since I was a kid. There is a guy called Pajuf. Some people call him Lokot. If you ask Pasamba of Yadabanju and guys from Bakau or Lami, they know him. His name is Pajuf, but his friends call him Lokot. He's one of my mentors in the game. He made me understand the game at a very early age. So football always has been my way. But in general terms, I'm Team Gambia. Whatever Gambia is doing, I'm in. Not only sports, anything that is Gambia's interest, I'm in. Because I've been doing some other stuff outside football for the past decade that most people don't even know. Because I don't go to the media to talk about it, or I'm not making it public for people to know. Yes, there's a Gambian boy called Bamba Suso. He plays in the Slovenian second team. So he's scoring goals for fun. And he might be leaving this country very soon because of his goal ratio is really good. So I went to watch him. He lives far away from me. He lives in the border with Italy. I have traveled 119 kilometers to watch him. He was very, very happy to see me as a Gambian. Well, I don't know him in the Gambia. But the fact that he's Gambian, I have sacrificed to go and see him. He's young. He's a very young lad. The other boy also is Malik Ba, a striker. He also plays in the Slovenian second division. He was in Italy, but he's also here playing. So, and I think it's a continuous process. Football is life. In as much as I have the chance and the opportunity, I will travel not only in Slovenia, Italy, Germany. I have access to travel anywhere I want to go because I'm living here legally, so I have documents. So wherever I want to go, I will go. But we all doing this for Gambia, and we don't expect anything in return. Nobody is giving us $1 to do it. We do it for Gambia, not for GFF, not for the ministry, but for the boys. Because some of these young players, they don't have the opportunity to be exposed. Some of our journalists will only follow the household name players and ignore the smaller ones. And these younger ones will become the bigger ones tomorrow. So I want to be very, very fair and balanced with everybody, like I do it in the league. I don't only watch Real Value. I watch Tallinn, I watch Team Rhino, I watch Jara West. So we have to be balanced in our reporting to give every team or every player a share he or she deserves. So that's the reason why.
Habib, tell us how these players felt when they meet you in person. First, we start with Hassan and Musa Barrow. When they met you, there's a Gambian who traveled all the way from Gambia to come and watch us play here in Europe.
Yeah, for Musa, okay, for Hassan and Musa, they already know in the Gambia. We know each other. So when I went there, I arrived late in the night. Musa already sent someone to come and pick me. I arrived there at 2:45 a.m. in the night. But he already asked a brother to come and pick me. So I was picked, not knowing where I'm going. And Musa put me in a very, very, very good hotel, I have to say. I was put in a very good hotel. I was taken, look, the guy took everything humanly possible to make my stay memorable. From feeding, transportation, everything was intact. I cannot thank him more. And I've also seen that Musa is a big profile at Bologna. Because we went to the stadium with one of his cars, even though on my day, that car could have not gone to where the players will park their cars. But because the police recognized one of his cars, they allowed us to drive and bypass 3 police checkpoints just to park where the players will park their cars. Simply because it was Musa Barrow's car.
High profile name.
We also went with a brother who Musa forgot to send his ticket. But when we arrived at the stadium, we told them this guy, Musa forgot to send him his ticket. They just asked us the boys' ID number. We give them the ID and the name, and they went into the system. When they checked, they saw that this Musa purchased a ticket for him. That's how the Europeans are. They are on a different level. If that was in the Gambia, I'm sorry, you are not going in.
Yes.
Because you have to buy another ticket.
You'll be stopped by the security
because
at the
there
gate.
is no system in place.
Exactly.
But because there is a system in place, when you buy a ticket, it goes with either your passport or your ID. Even if you lost your ticket, you're going in. And these are things we need to learn as a country going forward. Because you can lose your ticket. It's possible. So Musa is a household name in that city.
Team, yeah.
I was with him around the street. Selfies, autographs, unstoppable. So I think Gambian football, from the outside, it's looking good. And
fantastic, it's
really
looking good, and we hope
Hassan
it gets to another new level. And talking about Hassan Cisse also. And these are players who are, core in our national team. We've participated in our first Africa Cup of Nations, of course, I have to say competed until we get to the quarterfinals in Cameroon 2021. Now we are in the quest of getting to another AFCON in succession, that is the Cote d'Ivoire Africa Cup of Nations. And Musa, you watch these players play. I'm sure as a Gambian, you felt so proud to see our players playing at a higher level. Like you mentioned earlier, some 10, 15 years ago, this wouldn't have been almost impossible. Yes, it's possible, but so I would say basically it is something that has really elevated our football. Going forward, how do you expect our football to move? Yes, can you place your phone just before you answer the question? Can you place your phone maybe a little bit down so you can have the right frame again?
Yeah, football.
Just place your phone.
Football is a very expensive sport.
Yeah.
And I think government should step up in terms of trying to make sure they take up their responsibilities. For example, the last CAF and FIFA calendar, we are supposed to play and we didn't play.
Yeah.
And going forward, we have to make sure every FIFA or CAF calendar, Gambia have to participate in playing warm-up games. Because there are so many Gambian players out there who are yet to make their dream of playing for the national team. And playing test matches on a FIFA or CAF dates will allow the coach to invite new players in the national team. So you could see, I understand that we'll be playing 2 test matches this month, which is a welcome move. But there are more to be done, especially when a whole nation don't have one playing pitch across the globe. That's unacceptable.
Yeah, that's unacceptable. That's very sad.
You cannot say our football
we can talk about that whole day.
When we cannot play at home. How can you explain that? And if we want to qualify, and we are playing all our matches away, our chances of qualifying to Ivory Coast is very minimal. Because the home advantage will be lacking. And we all seen what have happened when we play in Morocco. The chanting was there. We defeated Bissau in the first round. Second round, we lost it. The same thing applies to Burkina Faso with the Olympic team. If those 2 games were played in Banjul, I can assure you we would have been in the next phase. But unfortunately, the whole country, from Banjul to Koina, there is no single plane certified by CAF or FIFA, which I think both GFF and the government should be ashamed of themselves, because they are the people leading us. The government controls everything, GFF leads football. So 2 of them should come together and end this trauma. But I call it's a trauma. Because since after the AFCON, Gambians don't have the chance to wipe the national team. At least to say thank you to them for that historic appearance in the AFCON. The only problem we have in the Gambia is our country should put the Gambia first. They have to ignore this traveling and per diem and put it on the pitches. Your football cannot develop if grassroots football is dying. All the academies are owned by other people who are able to have some very good artificial turf. But one thing Gambians cannot understand, how comes we cannot have even one playing pitch? If we want to progress in football, we have to do the right thing. So our authorities should step up, put the Gambia first, and make sure we have a playing pitch as soon as possible.
Well, Habib, on that note, we have to say thank you very much. That's all we have time for. Thank you for your time, and we wish you all the best of luck in your journey to see Gambian players.
Regards to everybody, and kudos to you for the wonderful job you are doing.
Modou Barrow is a footballer who plays for the Gambia national team, and previously he even played in the English Premier League for Swansea City. He is the first Gambian to play in the English Premier League. Modou Barrow scored for his South Korean club Jeonbuk Hyundai Motors in their 3-1 win over FC Seoul in the second leg of the FA Cup final. It ended 5-3 on aggregate over 2 legs after a 2-2 draw in the first leg. They are FA Cup champions eventually. Modou Barrow scored 17 goals in all competitions, with 10 assists for the club. And now let's talk about physical exercise. Sometimes people run, sometimes they do aerobics, sometimes they even work. And doing that work is Brikama Walk for Health chapter, who has been engaged in some physical activity. What they would do is every Saturday and Sunday, they would walk a distance of at least 6 kilometers to a particular place, that is at the Marrakech football field, and back again. But over the weekend, they've decided to go to the beach, at the Kartong beach precisely, to do some physical activity. After a work, they also did some physical exercise through aerobics. And we spoke to their coordinator, Bakari Mane. Yes, Work for Health Brikama chapter. Today is along the beach in Kartong, on the coastline, having a workout. They'll do the work, but also a body workout completely. The workout has just begun. The instructors, Walk for Health Brikama chapter on it.
Obviously, like you said, today I'm not an health expert, but in our youth days, we normally don't see this kind of diseases. But now there's a lot. You can name a few. Diabetics, high blood, name them. So I think it's very, especially for us, me and you and others, the media people. I mean, we are all the time on our microphone, with our pen, on our laptop, etc. So, I mean, exercise is very important. They can do everything for you, but your health, you have to do it for yourself. So you can see people that have diabetes, we have all the problems. We'll one time talk to you that when they start this, up to today, they've seen a drastic change. So that's why, to be honest, with all our workloads and etc., it's very, very important, because like I say, our utmost priority is our health, which nobody can do that for you, it's only you. So that's why it's very important. You see me here, you're here, and any other people, and the STV crew are here. So it's so important, to be honest. I mean, to be honest, entertainment and exercise goes together. It keeps you on your toes, it keeps everybody. And I think we thank God now, Work for Health Brikama chapter, if not the best, we have a lot of people that work with us on Saturday.
The 5th edition of the Women's Football Festival, which was held in Sifo Village over the weekend. 12 teams competed in this competition. We'll give you more details about that. The 5th edition of the Women's Football Festival had come to an exciting end in Sifo Village. 12 teams competed in the 2-day event. Soccer girls won the trophy on penalty shootouts after a 0-0 draw with Davos Academy in regulation time. Several high-profile persons in Gambian football attended the final. Former footballer Adama Jaju organized the event. Well, that's it for Q Sports tonight. Thank you very much for watching. Join us next week for more sports and have a pleasant night. Bye.